Welcome to SuccessFactors, uploading courses to staging and production. After you log into the staging server of SuccessFactors, click on the Home button at the top left, followed by clicking on the Admin Center. When the Admin Center page is loaded, click on the Learning icon, followed by the Learning Administration icon. Oh,
Or it's the system admin commerce, you have the content, we'll select content,
okay.
and we'll select expanded tools. All right, let's see how well this works.
Go to Tools.
Okay, we'll expand tools. We're going to import content, and in this case, we're testing this in our test instance. So we'll add new content. We'll browse to the location.
That's it.
We click Next. Now here we're selecting for our server location, our stage instance. We select our domain ID. In this case, this will be healthcare. For this sample, we're going to enable mobile access as well. And then we click on Import Files. You also have the option of creating the item as well, simultaneously. But in this case, we're not going to do that. So next thing we want to do here is we validated the file that it is the proper format. And we're going to edit our content object ID. In this case, we're naming the content object ID the same ID as the item ID.
The item ID was pulled off the spreadsheet.
And then we'll schedule the job. We're going to run this immediately. Or if you're doing this in mass, you can deselect that as well. So content import successful. What we'll need actually is we can take a look at the content object and see where the file name is. So in this case here, we're going to search for our course once again. Here we go. Notice that the title here, Captivate e-learning course, is actually being pulled in from the manifest. So you may want to go in here and change this content title as well.
And we can go to the spreadsheet.
Let's take a look at our spreadsheet. And that is this field over here, AC.
Yes.
So let's scroll down here as well. This course description that's on the content object, when you add this content object to an item, it is visible to your learner. So in this case, it says course description, and I'm assuming this is something generic that Captivate puts in. So we would want to go in here and either remove that description and leave it blank, or enter in what would be under this column AD here, which is a content object description. In this case, in our spreadsheet, we don't have anything listed here. So what we'll do is we'll simply delete this so that this is not visible to the end user. Then we click Apply Changes. Now, if you were uploading this content into your production location for use with this spreadsheet and this content migration, we could then go over here and look under launch method. And we can also verify that it was imported correctly. We can see it is a SCORM 1.2 course. We're also launching this in a new window. What we'd like to capture here is what's under file name. So we will select all, copy this, and if this were our production location, we would paste this in our corresponding spreadsheet. Under the file name column, which is column AM. So here's the path to your launch page. Since we're uploading this to test, the next thing we'll do is we'll go in and we'll create an item and associate this content as well. So this scenario here, we're still testing our content, so we've uploaded to our stage repository location. Now we will go under here, under learning, we'll create our item, click add new. In this case, we will select online only. Click OK. This item type here is an online course. And we'll just grab the title really quickly. So folks that will be testing content in the future will not necessarily have this sort of spreadsheet, right, that lists the item title. Is that correct, Mark?
They won't have the spreadsheet?
So if I were someone in here and I were to test content in our staging instance, would they know details about the course itself, or are they only testing content?
They would only be tested. Well, they actually could be creating their own content, so they may very well know what it contains.
So next we will select our domain. We've entered in our ID. We've given the item a title and a description. Next we'll click continue. Here we will add our content. So we've uploaded our content to our repository. We'll select add content object. We'll search for that content object. In this case, it's the same ID as your course. I can make this window a little bit bigger. Here we'll select the content. We also will give it a name. This is also what is visible to the learner as well. This is a SCORM piece of content, so we'll record learning event when content is passed, meaning that the content object itself is driving the completion of this. And we'll select OK. Next, we'll be prompted to select the completion status. This is the status that is given when the course is completed. So in this case, we'll select WBT passed. And now you can see we've added our online content. The next thing we'll need to do here, if you notice here, we have an indicator saying that this is currently not available for launch. We need to enable this to be able to be launched. So we select settings, modify settings. Okay, in this case here, we'll select that the content is available for launch. So this enables the content to be available for your end users. This is another checkbox that says record learning event when all content is complete. In this case, we only have one content object. However, an item can have multiple content objects. Potentially, you have an exam as well. So this checkbox basically drives if you are required to have all content completed prior to recording this learning event. In this case, we're going to select this as well. We're confirming our completion status is WBT passed. And in this case, we'd also, since we have a single content object, we want to skip the content structure page on launch. So we'll go down here, click OK. We'll click Save and Exit. And we have now created our item. If we click over here on the left-hand side on online content, we'll see that we have our content added. We'll see that it's available for launch. Next thing we'll want to do is we want to add it to a catalog. In this case here, we select Catalog. Under the Related menu, select the green plus sign to add a catalog. And this course will belong within the General Catalog. So we click Select General Catalog, and we select Add. Now you'll see that we've added this to the General Catalog to this item as well, or associated the General Catalog. Next thing we want to do is we want to associate this item with the subject area. Let's take a look in the spreadsheet here. I believe Mark has identified a subject area for this course. The subject area is UKHCWBT. So we can add UK HC, and if we expand this, and hopefully, Mark, you can edit out all this dead.
So there's no way to manually type it in?
Not in this case. You can search for it.
Yeah.
Well, I can't see the bottom of your screen, unfortunately.
Let's go ahead and raise this up. And just add?
Okay.
Okay.
Yep, and we'll click Add. And we've added our subject area. Subject area basically is a topic in which your learners can search and filter by. Okay, is there a save button on the bottom of the screen?
I
I
don't
think it
see
should
it.
be okay.
You think it automatically saved?
Should.
Let's go
Okay.
back. All
So
right.
we've got our catalog. We've got our subject area. So now if we go through, we have to go back into the learning view. Select the home button. We'll select learning from the home dropdown. And we should be able to browse for this course or search by keyword. So it should be listed under this topic as well. And you can see here we have our age-appropriate care across the lifespan course. Here, to test it, we can select Start the Course. And you would proceed with your testing to ensure that it completes. Okay.
So in that so we verified it works, everything is good. So now we'd want to go ahead and we would want to send this to production.
Okay. So let me do something really quickly here. Okay. So let me go in here and delete this guy. Okay.
So we deleted him because
Say that again, please.
why did we delete him?
So I deleted the file name because previously, when we were showing the upload to the stage repository and we went and looked at the content object, right? I pasted it in there. So in this case, we're going to kind of go through this process again.
Okay, got it.
Only we're going to upload it to our production repository.
Excellent.
And once again, this is for migration only, right? Okay. So now we're going to upload our content to our production deployment location. We're making the assumption that we've uploaded the content to our test deployment location. We've tested the content. It functions properly. It records completion as expected and passes the appropriate data back to the LMS. So in this case, we're saying that this piece of content is production ready, and we are ready to upload it to our production repository. So to do that, we'll go under content. We'll expand the tools, and we're going to import our content. We're going to add new content. Select next. We'll browse to our location and select our zip file. Select next. And here in this case, we're going to upload this to our production location for online content. We'll select our domain. And in this case, since we're uploading this as part of a migration effort, we're not terribly concerned with what selections we're picking here, because this content is really, from the content object standpoint, it's going to only exist within the staging instance from just to capture our file name of our production location. So here, we'll select import files. We'll want to edit our content object ID. So we'll select this paper and pencil icon here. Notice here that the content object ID that is being created is driven by the manifest file that is generated by Captivate. So what we'll want to do is we'll want to go into our upload spreadsheet. We've already identified what our content object ID will be. So in this case here, we'll copy this content object ID. And we'll replace this with our identified content object ID. Clicking Apply Changes. We'll schedule our job. Run this immediately.
You have to be patient here. You can see that it's waiting in the lower left-hand side of the browser.
We can see content import is successful. Next, we'll go under Content Objects. We'll find our content that we just uploaded.
Are we going to put a T after it or not? Yes.
So here, what we'll want to do is we'll want to go in here, select Launch Method. We'll want to capture this file name. Notice here that we have prod in our file name, since we uploaded this already to our production content repository. We'll copy this file name, return to our spreadsheet, and we'll paste this in column AM.